about to do something that people tell me not to do. This is my choice, my decision. This is what I'm gonna do. About to start printing my vocals when recording. I know a lot of people say don't because you have to commit to how it sounds. And by that, I mean if you're adding EQ, compression, delay, reverb, and all that, and you print it onto your vocals, that means once it's recorded, there's no going back, there's no changing it. That's what you're stuck with. What you want to do is come over here, and this is going to be your input button. And when this pops up, this is where you're going to add all your plugins. These are the plugins that will be printed onto the vocals when I'm recording. From there, I'll process and add more things. Only thing I would do, I'm going to turn this down to like -16. And I'm going to turn this off, and you're going to see a difference. So this is with it off. As you can see, it's not as bright, as loud. And so what I would do is just turn this up so you guys can hear me. But pretty much if you want to go through things, we have the noise suppressor. So when recording these vocals, I want as little to no noise as possible. So I want to print that noise suppressor onto the vocals. And then we have a Neve 1073 that we're printing on. This is like a preamp and an EQ. I have the female vocal preset, and I think what I'm going to do is just turn this down a little so it's not too bright. I'm going to turn this down just one. And then we have compression, and I have subtle vocal compression. And I think if I'm correct, I turned the release all the way up to 7. And for my output, I'm just going to dial this back a little bit. So we'll stick to about right there. For pull tech, this is another EQ. And I don't want it too bright, so I'm probably going to pull it back just a tad bit. But we are working from the vocal presence preset. We have another compression, and this is the soft but thicker preset. I didn't touch this. That's just what it is. And then we have a UAD oxidized tape. This is more so supposed to add warmth to the vocals. So we're using smooth vocal plus 2 VU. But what I'm going to do is just turn the output down some, just like that. All right, so that's what we're working with. If we go ahead and turn this back on, this is what it sounds like. We could turn the volume up. So we could probably keep it like that. Again, this is what it's going to sound like when these plugins are printed onto my vocals. This is what it sounds like before anything. And of course, that's just because the volume is all the way up to 1.7. I'm going to go ahead and record some random vocals. That way you guys can get a before and after as to how it would sound if we're just doing regular vocals and processing later, compared to if we are printing these vocals and then processing it with some other stuff. I'm not going to sit here and print vocal effects like the reverb, delay, and everything like that. I want to be able to control that later on because I might want more on one vocal compared to the other. So that kind of stuff is going to get processed after. Like I said, some people will tell you no, but hey, this is something I want to try out, want to see how well it does. So we're going to go ahead and change the BPM to 127, which is the BPM of this beat that I'm about to pull in. Boom, just like that. We're going to go ahead and zoom in, and we're going to line this beat up with the BPM. Boom. And if we turn on the metronome down here and we listen, as you can see, it's on beat. And we're going to bring this down some. And when we gain stage our beat, we want to make sure that our beat is hitting around like -9 to -6 dB. But this right here, this sounds good. It's not too loud. I'll probably just drag it down just a tad bit more. That way I could give myself some headroom when recording. This is what Vocal Tuner looks like right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and switch the tracks so that you guys can kind of hear. So this is what Vocal Tuner looks like. These are the settings that I have. If you have this plugin and you want to set it how I set it, boom, there you go. One thing I do like though, they have a shift that we could turn on.
And we could turn this down and do it like this.
We could turn it down.
So it just depends on what you guys want, which is actually really, really cool. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to record with no plugins. So we're not printing any plugins onto the vocals.
Chick say this, what's the move,
Too
gang?
much drip, might slip when I walk. Chain
Chain so loud, they don't talk, but it talk. Out this splash in the mouth when I walk. Look at the fit, that's 100 on the clock. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city with the seat on recline. They try to copy, but they never just glow. Drip my body, I leave it online. No, too much drip, too much drip, too much drip. Too much drip, too much drip, too much drip. Too much drip, don't flex, just flow. Too much drip, don't flex, just flow. Try to copy, but they never could glow. Try to copy, but they never could glow. No.
I don't know, just random stuff. So what we'll do, open up this folder and we're gonna do dry, no print. And we're gonna drag this down and I'm just gonna drag over the auto tune so that we could copy that. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and record and we're gonna turn on these presets and we're gonna mute this one. And we're just gonna record something so that we can see the difference.
What's the move,
Too
gang?
much drip, don't slip when I walk. Chain so loud, they don't talk, but it talk. Out there, they flashing in the mouth when I walk. Look at the fit, that's 100 on the clock. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city, my seat recline. Try to copy, but they never disclose. Drip on my body, I'm leaving a line. No, drip too much, drip too much, drip too much. Too much drip, too much drip, too much drip. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city in the seat on low. Try to copy, but that's a no. Drip on my body, how you go? Yeah.
Alright, so I don't know. So we're gonna do print wet. Alright, so these are different. These I'm gonna actually change the color for y'all. So purple is no plugins, no print, and blue. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and play the vocals that were recorded with no pre-processing. This is just going to be post-mixing, so I probably said that wrong, but pretty much these aren't going to have any plugins that were printed onto the vocals. These are raw vocals, and then there's some plugins that were added after the fact. So this is what it sounds like.
What's the move,
Too
gang?
much drip, might slip when I walk. Chain so loud, they don't talk, but it talk. Out this splash in the mouth when I walk. Look at the fit, that's 100 on the clock. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city with the seat on recline. They try to copy, but they never just glow. Drip my body, I leave it online. No, too much drip, too much drip, too much drip. Too much drip, too much drip, too much drip.
Now what we're going to do is play the printed vocals. So these are the vocals that had some plugins onto them first, and then they got printed, and then they ended up being processed after that. So this is what it sounds like.
What's the move,
Too
gang?
much drip, don't slip when I walk. Chain so loud, they don't talk, but it talk. Out this splashing in the mouth when I walk. Look at the fit, that's 100 on the clock. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city, my seat recline. Try to copy, but they never disclose. Drip on my body, I'm leaving a line. No, too much drip, too much drip, too much drip. Too much drip, too much drip, too much drip. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city in the seat on.
I don't know. To me, it sounds so much better with the printed. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But what we'll do real quick, we'll add in some effects. So let's unmute all of this. And let's just mute this. And this is with some effects. Let me fix this up real quick. So whatever. All right. So we just got a little bit of reverb, compression, and delay. And I'm actually going to take this delay and change it to my throw delay, and let's see how it sounds with some extra stuff.
What's the move,
Too
gang?
much drip, might slip when I walk. Chain so loud, they don't talk, but it talk. Out this splash in the mouth when I walk. Look at the fit, that's 100 on the clock. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city with the seat on recline. They Try to copy, but they never just glow. Drip my body, I leave it online. No, too much drip, too much drip, too much drip. Too much drip, too much drip, too much drip.
All right, and let's mute this, unmute this, and let's see. And it's gonna be the same settings. All I had to do was click and just drag over, and boom, same thing. Okay, so let's see.
What's the move?
Too much drip, don't slip when I walk. Chain so loud, don't talk, but it talk. Out this flashing in the mouth when I walk. Look at the fit, that's 100 on the clock. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city, my seat recline. Try to copy, but they never disclose. Drip on my body, I'm leaving a line. No drip.
Me doing the printed vocals with this, just, it sounds good. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments down below. Would you guys print your vocals, or would you guys just record raw and then process your vocals after? But thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified anytime a video drops, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Too much drip, might slip when I walk. Chain so loud, don't talk, but it talk. All this splash in the mouth when I walk. Look at the fit, that's 100 on the clock. Too much drip, don't flesh, just flow. Ride through the city with my seat recline.